glad to
Niaje?
be back.
It's been
been a
forever.
while.
It's been for what happened? Is it Sleepy? Did Sleepy do something to you?
No, Butita and I were going through some tough times. We couldn't be in the same space together, but we worked out our differences, and we decided to be professional about this, and well, here I am.
I think if guys were to date in this panel, it wouldn't be you and Sleepy. I would imagine maybe you and Kingori. I think that would make a much better couple. I don't know.
This is just so awkward.
Is it?
Cindy,
I know my rights. I know my rights. I know my rights.
Sleepy, no one would date you.
You cannot lock me out.
Sorry.
Someone would babysit.
Not one.
Would babysit you.
Utakuwa so love.
Na hizi ndevu zote.
Yeah, no. Anyway, welcome back, and of course, shout out to Cindy. Hi,
Hey,
Cindy.
how you doing, Amina? I love the outfit.
Thank
and
you
the
so much.
Side thing and the brooch.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
I got it from some shop. It's really not mine.
I see the mbalas is back.
Yes, it is. This one, I like how you could tell. I told you my other one was stolen. Did I tell you that, Anita? Life, it happened.
Yeah,
it happened.
I was like, who steals a wig, man? But anyway,
so Butita finally akijua kutumia hii Skype, then we'll get him on. However, let's start this by talking about the biggest story I think that trended the entire week, Eric Omondi. Where comedian Eric Omondi has been swimming in controversy over the past few days after a video of him stark naked in the company of minors leaked online. In response to the backlash received from the clip, he issued this apology. Take a look.
I'm very sorry because mayoni mazee jana nilichoma sana, yani nilichoma, yani wacha tuseme ukweli, hiyo ilichoma sana. Hiyo video mazee nataka kusema from the deepest part of my heart, I'm very sorry because it was not meant for social media, and I want to be very clear that me apologize for, you see, that is very indecent, yeah, first of all, to go into the public, and I'm sorry about that, and I've already apologized. I did not mean to offend or disrespect anyone. Those were not my intentions. My only intentions have always been to make people happy, and as a comedian, while you're trying to make people happy, you err, and I think that was yesterday was one of those days where I made a mistake. But again, I didn't post the video. Someone leaked it. This was meant to stay at the shows of River Tarkwell. But one thing I will not apologize for is being African. This is our continent. This has been our custom, our culture, our tradition for millions of years. We are blessed with mountains, hills.
Ponde River, Ponde Bank. Anyway, but
Well
listen,
done,
I have a
Kingori.
lot to say about this on social media. So, Cindy.
First of all, I think much ado about nothing. That is my point of view. Yes, it was a joke and it fell flat. But have you read the backlash on social media? Even people who don't even comment on serious things, like the fact that we're going to be taxed fuel levy. So that means, you know, petrol is going up by 125. The fact that we are now hitting the 4 trillion shilling mark, nobody talked about it. I'm sure it's a topic. I don't know if we're going to discuss it today. But a university student was shot in broad daylight. Nobody talked about it. But Eric Omondi cracks a joke that falls flat. Oh, hashtag the boy child. Oh, that's indecent exposure. I'm like, please, you know, may come from the western side. Do from Pararo is everyday living, and yes, grown men shower with small boys in the river, the same way as grown women, we shower with the small girls by the lake. It is not a big deal. I'm sure he was trying to, you know, show another side of culture, show that he's still a child at heart. It fell flat. So can we just get over it? I mean, I think there are bigger issues to fry.
Yeah, okay. I hear you. Anita, you weren't here when we were talking about Bolingo Nangai?
No.
So, but nimeona pia wengine wakisema inatosha kwa mkono mmoja. Anyway, yeah, so what did you think about this?
I always say this: if you don't want something to end up on social media, whether it be leaked by somebody else or you upload it by mistake, then just don't record it. You'd rather just not have evidence of something you would never want to be seen in the first place. Yes, it does happen, and we were actually discussing this in the office as well, and there are some places where it is normal for kids to swim naked in the river. It just seemed a little indecent, to have it on social. Like if you're physically present there and you see it, that's a different thing. But then, I mean, there's this grown man who's naked and his butt is all over the place, and then there are these kids who seemed very innocently playing around because, I mean, yay, we do this all the time, and here's Eric, and there's a camera, let's go wiggle it in front of the camera. And I just feel like it was indecent exposure for these kids, and maybe they didn't even know. Did their parents even know that there was a video of their children being recorded, and it would ultimately end up on social media, be it on purpose or by mistake? So, like he said, maybe his intention was just to make us laugh because he assumed, and seeing as it's African culture, to get naked and swim in a river. I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal, but there's a lot of people who don't know that and who've never seen that and view children's innocence differently. So maybe he should have, maybe all of that should have been put into consideration before recording such an incident.
Yeah.
So you know what, you've apologized, and well, just don't do it again.
But it wasn't a dry joke because he was swimming. Anyway, I think I'm hanging out with King Ori too much. I need to stop. But no, for real though, guys, you see, I'm going to be the devil's advocate, if you'll allow me. And one, because Eric is a buddy of mine, and I know how very apologetic he was that it was taken. Yani people thought it was about the kids. He was like, no, that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to be like Manse Dufumpararo, who remembers these days we used to do
He
this.
should have done it himself.
So, but you see,
with his buddies
there
then.
to create the atmosphere. Okay, fine. We
Akimwingilia
don't see
macomedian, guys.
swagging willies all over the place. But
acha kabla hata niongee Sleepy. Acha
I'm going to
nikuulize.
comment.
Did you used to swim in the river?
Sana.
Okay,
Hata
so
niko na
is there
alama,
anything wrong?
ni vile mnakataza tutoe nguo, but ningewaonesha. Anyway,
No, this is not the
I'm going to
platform.
talk about this as a comedian, as a liberal guy, as Nakama Mokorino.
Okay.
Tutaanza na comedian. As a comedian, there is a bad day in office. There is always that one bad day in office. So, and of course, sometimes, creativity does not choose time. Unaona wazimu ndio hii hapa, unataka kuruka hapo. So,
Yeah.
I totally understand Enrico. As a comedian, na wewe ni comedian wa ukweli, ukiona wazimu ndio hii hapa, utaruka hapo, you forget, you lose your conscience.
Yes.
As a liberal guy, hiyo Cindy ameshaongelea. As a Mokorino, kitabu cha Hagai.
What? Nataka kusikia.
Kitabu cha Hagai
Yeah.
kinatuambia ya kwamba usijudge mtu na boriti iko kwa jicho yako. Yes.
Okay.
But in general, wachaneni na jeshi ya macomedian as a battalion, battalion.
Do you
We
think
are
it was,
together
can I
with
ask
Enrico.
something?
I think it
We
was
are
blown
together.
out of proportion. Like, I'm
Yes.
like, okay, I mean, he apologized, he took it down.
Once he apologized, I was like, well, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But then, Kenyans, up until
Cindy ako na
another
swali.
controversy takes place, they will dwell on the one thing that
Yeah.
is exciting them at that particular time.
Okay.
But I think
exactly.
That is
Eric
true.
wanted to
Sleepy,
explain, yeah.
Can
Yes.
I ask, do you feel like it was blown out of proportion because he's a comedian? Because, he walks around the streets of Nairobi dressed like Vera Sidika. Do you feel like now people had a reason to backlash, like there was even a bit of iteration behind it? Because I was
Yes.
reading some of the comments, I felt like replying and asking, who hurt
Who
you?
hurt you? Show us
Yes.
some teddy bear. What's going on with you? And also, to be honest, Cindy, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many places in this country where people do actually walk naked.
Yes.
And it's either part of culture or, lack of exposure or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
it's what they do. So maybe, as Anita was asking, did their parents give consent? Maybe they just didn't care. They were like, baby, ebu tufanye kirume,
Well, so
tuifanye
They were
maybe it
fetching water
happens.
going home.
Many people have never seen it, so it was just so shocking and appalling to them.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my God, did he
But-
ask them to get naked and dance in the river?
That's true.
Maybe
He
they just didn't know that this is something that actually happens.
Abi
And
from-
sometimes
Kwa
when
wale
you come
wenye
from a
waliona.
point of, lack of information, you'll
Yeah.
overreact.
Kweli. All right, so we're going to take a short break. The hashtag is TTTT.
Anita.
Let us
Yeah.
know what you think.
Kwa wale wenye waliona, wali-notice ni kama zinatoshana hivi.
Kwenda huko, let's
Oh
go
my
on this
God.
break.
On Monday, motorists using the Nairobi-Nakuru highway were met with a major disappointment after their vehicle tires were deflated by charcoal transporters in Kwambira, Limuru, demanding for the arrest of Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu. This is following the governor's ban on charcoal burning in her county, which has seen several vehicles, being banned from transporting charcoal. Most recently, there was a Toyota Probox. I don't know if you guys saw that. The burning question: what do innocent motorists have to do with Kitui charcoal being banned? As in, And
Exactly.
this goes for like everyone who demonstrates. Sasa sisi, mimi nimetoka kwa nyumba, hata sijui ni nini mna demonstrate. Yeah, nishapigwa, nishagongwa na mawe, gari yangu ndio hiyo, na it's on loan. You know, it's crazy out here. Anita, did you see that story?
I did, and that's the one thing that's always baffled me about demonstrations. I usually wonder, is the reason why you attack innocent motorists or bystanders or just people who are going about their day and probably don't even know why you're protesting, is it so that if they are aggrieved and they complain, you feel like your complaint will be escalated to where it needs to get? Because it's very unfortunate. There was a man who had a meeting in Nakuru at 10 p.m., I believe. And the guy just finds this traffic jam and he's wondering, oh, what's going on? Next thing he knows, all his tires have been slashed. This is someone who has no idea that there was a charcoal truck that was ever burnt. This is somebody who has no idea what this protest is about. And there you are, you've slashed his tires. Now, how is he even supposed to get 4 spare tires so he can go for this meeting that he was going for? You have no clue whether this meeting was going to be life-changing for him and his family or not. I think it's very selfish, and I think we need to find a better way to picket and demonstrate without necessarily affecting the lives of innocent Kenyans who are clueless as to what, you know, you can't always assume everybody knows what you're complaining about. And you can't assume that everybody is aggrieved by what you're aggrieved about. If somebody has wronged you, I feel there needs to be another way to address it that just concentrates on the person who has wronged you or the institution or the system that has, as opposed to dragging innocent people into this equation and they have no clue what is going on. I mean, that traffic jam was there for how many hours? Just because you had a problem with somebody who was in another county. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
It's true. It absolutely doesn't make sense. And I'm going to go deeper and say there was ethnic profiling. They were slashing only tires from some people who belonged in certain communities. So it all goes back to the whole fracas and forgother of, you know, what's happening on this side is happening on the other side.
Yeah.
But let's also talk about why they were protesting. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this ban. No more selling of charcoal in Kitui.
Yeah.
And we have to appreciate why, you know, the governor, Charity Ngulu, imposed this ban, you know, because our forest cover is depleting. I don't know if you've seen this picture on social media showing Kenya is literally
scary.
a desert.
And Uganda is so
know?
green. Burundi looks good. We're just the ones who go.
And we're wondering why the rains came in March when we all know rains should have started in January. But I feel, again, as Kenyans, we do not go to a solution as to why people do things. We just banned plastics, but we did not, you know, look into the deep issues of why do people use plastics, who are the guys affected, the manufacturers who actually make a living and employ people. So here we are, we banned charcoal. And there are people who it's their bread and butter, and we're not giving them an alternative. So of course they'll demonstrate.
Of course.
So let's find an alternative, even if it means hiving off or finding a particular part of the forest where it is their responsibility to make sure they replant.
Yes, that's what I was going to add to what you have to say.
Yeah, but now there's deforestation and there's impunity, and then we're asking people to find another way of living. What are they supposed to do if the charcoal business has been in their lineage forever? Please note, Kalembendile made his mark in this world by selling charcoal.
But you see, Cindy, I think the question is, and even though, yes, thank you so much for bringing that discussion to the fore, because yes, people do need to plant trees, and we thank all of the politicians who have been doing it for the past couple of days. Thank you. Lakini, swali ni, mimi kama motorist, kwa nini mimi ni chapwe? Kwa nini mimi ndo, you know what I mean? Like, why does that need to happen during every demonstration? Is there no other way you can?
No,
people are hungry and people are angry.
Need to stop taking out their anger on innocent citizens.
No, I totally understand.
You know, if they went up to these guys and gave them trees to plant, I'd get it. But if you go up to them and pelt them with stones and slash their tires, I don't see how you've helped the matter.
Yeah.
Because you didn't discuss with them. You told them to starve and get used to it. So it's impunity versus impunity. Again, which brings me back to my point. You need to sit down and tell these guys, okay, we are banning this because of ABCD, and this is the plan B. But if you tell them, shauri yako, deuces, and then you tick on your, you know, your to-do list, I have done good, NEMA will like it, but their tummies won't like it. You can't argue with a hungry man. And we're not talking about the kind of hunger that you skip lunch. We're talking about the kind of hunger where you don't have rent, you don't have school fees. Hauna ene, hohehahe.
Yeah.
Noma sana.
All right, so now, Sleepy.
Anita, I think, Amina.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu wenu umeniita. I think, let's go to the bottom. The bottom line ni story ya miti. Miti isikatwe. Even the deputy president was there saying about guys should not cut a miti. governor, my friend, my guy, the governor of Machakos, Alfred Mutua, has banned kukata miti for 3 years. Yeah?
Yes,
now,
it's true.
Today, when I was reading his story, I was like, it's illegal kukata miti even in your own compound. Yani kwako, huwezi kata miti.
Yeah, didn't you know that?
You know,
it's a property.
And this message will go strongly kwa watu wa Nyeri. Tafadhali, miti ni uhai.
Wow.
You know, the whole country.
Why do I even pay
Miti ni
attention
dawa.
to you, Sleepy? Why do I pay any attention to Anita? Did you understand what he said?
No, I didn't. I'm laughing because everybody else was laughing.
Oh,
and, I didn't want, and I didn't want to seem like I don't know what's going on. So I was just like,
No.
let me just
So
laugh.
he said yani msikate miti, meaning member, meaning ile.
Oh.
Okay, yes. So sasa
As a
Sleepy
country, we
nyamaza.
now I
are
get
doing
it.
everything.
I have review. Anyway, now listen. So now we recently had a story in the media about MCAs hiring assistants. I don't know if you guys got wind of that to do what they were elected for. Well, this week we found out why, because during proceedings at the Uasin Gishu County Assembly, Hilary Rono, the MCA for Kip Kenya, rose on a very interesting point of order.
Who wake up and sit in the marketplace in order to sell, to go and feed their children, and still provide food security for Kenya. To me, sir, is a very humble and diligent task.
What's the point of order, Hilary?
Mr. Speaker, Mheshimiwa Speaker, mjumbe mteule Mheshimiwa Speaker, yeye Kiingereza chake kinaendeshwa haraka sana Mheshimiwa Speaker, mpaka sisi kama mheshimiwa wengine hatuelewi Mheshimiwa Speaker. Tunaomba yeye aendeshe polepole ili watu kama sisi Mheshimiwa Speaker tuweze kuelewa. Asante sana.
Thank you, Honorable Hilary. I don't know, Honorable Jenny, whether you can maybe slow it a bit or something like that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I apologize to the honorable member if English can be sometimes a bit fast. Sorry.
You know, this is actually very sad. Like, it's actually not funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I don't know. Butita, finally, we got umejua ku receive call yetu, thanks.
Unajua hata imebidi ninunue simu mpya, niingie hapa ni buy MacBook mpya na simu. Unajua diaspora kubebelezani na vitu. Kitu ikistop tunakupa. By the way, I mean I'm live from the United States of America, for those who don't know.
Well, wow. That's a lie. You're just here in KC.
I'm in Vegas. I'm here. We are having a party because we are having the rugby sevens. The Kenyan spirit inaenda kushika huku. So very quick, Amina, what has been happening in Kenya?
First of all, you look like one of those ICC witnesses. But okay. So listen. So now there was an MCA who said that there's another MCA who alikuwa anaongea English sana na alikuwa anaongea haraka na hawajamuelewa na alikuwa anaongea tu sawa na alikuwa anaongea pole pole. What is your take on MCAs like Sleepy here? Haelewi lugha ya Kimombo.
Butita,
Unajua kuna kizungu na kizunguzungu.
Na kizungu mkuti.
Sasa yeye alikuwa anaongea gani?
Alikuwa anaongea kizungu.
Unajua ukitumia word moja ngumu ya English, hiyo ni kizungu. Lakini ukitumia word kama 3 unaweza patia watu kizunguzungu. Unajua MCA hakunanga qualification ya kwa MCA ni you must be a Kenyan citizen. Si ati you must have attended kindergarten, standard 1, standard 2. Ni you must be a Kenyan citizen. Period.
Yes, so
I think that's what problems. Yeah.
Everyone other than Miguna can participate. Cindy.
Yes.
Actually Sleepy.
Unajua by the way, before nijue hiyo story ilifanyika huko Uasin Gishu, I heard that kuna mheshimiwa amekuwa na shida ya kizungu. Nikajiuliza kwani ringtone alishinda kura?
No. Dab on that.
And then I realized that kuna mtu amesema kizungu ipelekwe pole pole. How do you do that? Like, how do you start saying that kuna kizungu na speed? So, ati mheshimiwa asikuwa anaongea kizungu mingi, akiongea kizungu hivyo, anaongeza Kiswahili 3 ya kama speed pump ya kizungu.
Yeah.
Kizungu inaenda pole pole.
Yeah.
Why? You know, so that means tutakimbizana na kizungu na speed.
Lakini Amina,
so wait, so he didn't say he didn't understand how, or
He just said that she
speaking
spoke
fast?
very fast.
Yes,
Amina,
that's my
I think
point.
it's a strategy.
Butita,
It's a
Exactly
strategy.
my point.
Butita said
Strategy. Next week utasikia wameallocate 2 billion ya kubuy dictionary. Hawa watu tunawajua.
By the way,
speaking about allocations, na ninajua Cindy atachukua matawi hapo chini kwa sababu anakwanga amebeba, ni sisi tunakwanga tumemwambia siinue. So did you guys see there's going to be a retreat from Monday, if I am not mistaken, right? For all the MPs, there are over 349 if I'm not, anyway, they're just
They better
over
be
300.
going to their backyards.
No, they're going for 4 days. So they have, I think, to Mombasa. So they have 4 options of where they'll stay. There's English Point Marina, there's White Sands, there's Suju Wapi. Of course, budgets.
Why can't
ni
say
si tunalipa.
Airbnb? You know, this is what I don't
Lakini
understand.
Vicky,
Why
Why
is
is there
that to tell
retreats?
me you cannot think when you're in Nairobi? I've never understood these retreats. They're never in Nairobi. You can't just get a
Exactly.
boardroom in Nairobi and think. Is it that when you're in Mombasa, suddenly the humidity and the smell of the ocean helps your brain? And I don't understand. Why are we
Take
wasting
your
money?
monkeys to a hotel.
In fact, that money
Nairobi.
should be spent on hiring young people to plant trees for us, so
Exactly.
that we don't die of heat. I mean, India and
Yes.
China have gone out of their way to plant trees on millions of hectares, and here we are spending millions of shillings for people to go to Mombasa to come up with things, ideas to help us. I'm
No,
even
it's
angry.
Suju post-election something.
See, they do it in Nairobi.
No, but the Clandes don't like Nairobi.
Uh,
The Clandes like to travel.
We're going to take a break.
I didn't see it going in
We're
that
going to take a
direction.
break. And hopefully when we're back, Butita will
Well,
also
Amina,
be here.
Amina,
Yes. Okay,
Amina.
Sleepy, one more. Sema. Oh, Butita, eh?
Kuna story lazima tu niongelee. Hiyo story ya Eric kuruka kwa maji. Sijui mbona ilinikumbusha mfupa ya nyama kwa supu.
Okay.
Kuna vile ni
Ai, Butita, that's one. Just
Unaona vile mfupa uko katikati ya supu.
Wacha
Kuna
Anita,
craving fulani
Anita,
nilipata
so
na
mean.
nilijiona.
Ngoja ni-
Anita, saizi tu ukisema mambo ya joto na thinking, so Las Vegas inaku affect bro.
I want fake. Mimi nimeielewa.
it's not that hot
Mimi
there
nimekuelewa,
right now.
Butita. Chana na say we need to take a break. We're going to be back with more right here on TT.
Really shocked that there are people who are challenging me on Twitter because I said we should plant trees.
Yeah,
And
let's.
instead of saying that's a good point, they're like, you, how many trees have you planted? I have planted trees.
So have
Friends
I.
of Karura, I've planted trees in Homa Bay. You know,
Yeah,
I would like to throw the challenge out. If you've not planted a tree, maybe you should, so that, you know, you can get more oxygen and you can think more clearly.
Woo! Umesikia Sleepy, that's for you. Kwa sababu anazungumzia
But you know,
miti ya
Kenyans also need to
forest.
stop challenging people when they don't know what you've actually done. The way you
Yes.
say, they'll be like, you, what have you? You're like, but were you there
You're
with
like,
me? It's not like
you
I post
know,
everything
like,
on
sit
social.
down.
Calm down. Gather
be
yourself.
humble.
Okay.
Nice.
First of all, Butita, hebu songa hivi sijui unaenda nje wapi? Like mwenye simu atakuona.
Unataka
Amina.
Hapo
Unatumia wifi ya jirani na anaona TV. Like
Tupigieni nani
hapo niko
makofi.
sawa.
uko poa. Anyway, now listen, now reports from
Pia naenda hiyo room. Unajua room ni mingi.
Okay, hiyo ni sawa. Hiyo bafu iko poa. Now, reports from the Kenyatta National Hospital this week are that makosa imefanyika. Makosa kubwa. A neurosurgeon opened the head of a wrong patient.
Oh.
On Sunday, 2 unconscious men were being wheeled into KNH. One needed head surgery to remove a blood clot in his brain, while the other only required nursing and medication to heal a trauma swelling in his head. However, a mix-up of identification tags led to the wrong man being wheeled into theater and his skull opened. Doctors realized the mistake hours into surgery when they discovered there was no blood clot. It's just imefura, but oh wow. Well, the man is sprawled on the operating table. What do? I would just, quit. I'd just change my name, move countries. Like, what do you say? What do you do at this point?
My
Sleepy.
concern, okay.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Dani. Go
I'm
ahead,
used to
Dani.
things like wrong group. But wrong patient?
Wrong head?
Wrong
Not
head?
so much.
That is so much. But kuna job zenye unaweza fanya makosa.
Yeah.
Kama waiter, you are allowed to fanya makosa. Hiyo chapo si ya huyo, hiyo ni nini si ya ule.
Yeah.
Chapati peleka nyuma,
Yeah.
cabbage ni za huyu. But you cannot do that.
And then the other day there was a child who was stolen, kidnapped rather.
There was a
while
rape
back,
incident
there was
before
allegations of rape.
Yes.
I mean, Kenyatta National Hospital needs to get their house in order. There's something very wrong with that place. As in, how do you operate on the wrong patient? Like Sleepy said, there are just some professions that don't allow you to make mistakes. This is somebody's life. Thank God he is alive and he is recovering. But I would sue these guys for every last penny they have.
Yeah, but in fact, I just quit my job because I'm like, you know what?
By the time I'm done suing you guys, I'm sorted for life.
I am so sorted, isn't it?
Yes, Butita.
Imagine uwekewe akili ya mtoto.
Kama yako.
Unaanza kunyonya kidole.
I think ni wrong sana.
Why are you making a joke out of this?
I really don't want to laugh about this matter, but you guys are so silly.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm saying, doctors, you cannot do that.
Kama ya Butita. Anyway, now.
Fanya hivyo. Mi yangu ni mzuri ukiekewa. Mi kitu naona ni wrong Amina. I think system yetu ya hospitali, maybe it's not digital in such a way that if you cannot track the exact patient that ulikofanyia surgery, alikofanyiwe surgery labda, ni wrong sana. Tutaenda up na makesi mob sana. Utapata mtu wa kitambi amepelekwa labor ward kuzaa na manzena ni kitambi tunamwona mwanaume.
Sasa DK ameingiaje kwa story yote?
Wow.
Anyway, listen, that actually happened to me. It happened to me.
Amina, unajua ni wrong, unajua
kwanza Kenya. Pregnancy, but the mix up, it has happened to me before. Yeah.
Seriously, like you got the wrong
Yes, I did. Yes, and I almost got a throat surgery.
What?
Imagine, you know, because sometimes the mix up, they can tell you something you don't have. It's crazy. Exactly. It happened to me at a very big hospital, just here in Hurlingham, near Daystar, near Silver Spring. Now, listen, I know most Kenyans have profound love for chapati. Kama Butita wengine wanakaliwa hiyo chapati. But how much would the average Kenyan be willing to spend on a chapo? Now, a restaurant bill surfaced online this week showing a customer had paid $16.50, which translates to $550 per chapo. 55 chapo mwitus. How far would you stretch your budget for chapos? Ebu niambie uko Vegas chapati ni how much?
Hapa Vegas chapati is $2. That's 200 Kenyan shillings.
Yeah.
By the way, history ya chapati, it's high time people should respect chapati. Chapati was chapati when it was 10 shillings. That was when chapati was big na ilikuwa nono kidogo. With time, bei ya chapati imekuwa inapanda na chapati ina reduce. Unakaa hivi unaona chapati inaitwa so ukiangalia hivi manze chapati hata chapati ni translucent.
Unaona sahani. Anyway, we're out of time, guys. We're out of time.